Good morning. It's Stampin Thursday. I'm so glad to be here with you. I am StampinDeDe, and we are here today to just play around with some dies. But before we do that, before we start, I want to remind you that not all, but select designer series papers are on sale 15% off. So, man, if you've been looking at a set of designer series paper that you really like, now's the time to get it. Stock up. And if you don't have a demonstrator that helps you out, that you order through, I would love to help you out. I would love to be that person for you, and just leave me a comment or text me. My phone number is on this website. Or message me and let me know, and I'd be glad to help you out. I love sharing what I know with my customers and my friends, and so that's what we're doing today. We're just playing around, and the set that we're going to play around with is Thoughtful Wishes. I bought this set for the dies. I saw these dies used, and I had to have them. I needed, in particular, a die with pieces of it that I'll show you. Like this. Let's see. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see that or not, but a die like this that can be a background piece. That's more like a shadow almost. So that's why I bought these dies. I could see lots of ways to use them, and there are several that are that way. That one, and that one are all standalone dies, as well as the leaves. And this one. And this one and this one cut out your images. Let's see. This die cuts out this image, and this die cuts out this image. So I haven't used those yet. I've just played around with the dies. So let me show you what I did with them. I thought, I wonder if I could use those as a stencil. And so I cut this one out. And used it as a stencil on this card, and had so much fun with it. And then what I had left over was the die that I cut out with the color that I used on here. Now I had the cut out piece, and I was able to put it on a card as well. So I did it again using the smaller die here. Using this die, I thought, okay, I'm going to try that one. And that's what this one turned out like. I put the two of them side by side and used them as a stencil. I thought it really turned out pretty. And then the piece that I had left over, I had these left over from using them here, and so I put them on this card. So, there you go. That was me playing around with my dies. So I thought what I would do is demonstrate. So I thought, okay, I'll demonstrate the first card that I did, which would be this one. On this one, I used one of the dies from the Everyday Detail dies. And at first, after I made it, I thought, oh, are these still available? I looked in the catalog, and they're not in the catalog, but they're online. So you can still get these dies, the Everyday Detail dies, which are these right here. You can still get these as an online exclusive. And this is the one I used to create the holes. And let's see, then I just used the Very Vanilla paper and Pretty Peacock. I used the Pretty Peacock ink and the Pretty Peacock background and decided to add some gold. And after it was all over, I thought, you know what? What if I added another little piece of dye right there? I thought, you know, I can do that. I think that might really be pretty. So I thought, well, I'll just wait. I'd already finished my card. I thought, I'll just wait and do that with y'all. So I'm just going to stick it right there, right under the bow, sort of. And I'm going to put it right there. I love that. It really brings out the gold, the little gold gems. Let me put a dot of glue right there. Right there. I'll hold that down. I loved that. I thought, oh man, that just finished it off. And I used the dies again on the inside. So this is just gold and vanilla ribbon. These are the, what are they called? I think they're gold. And I've got to get more of them. Let's see, I wrote it down. Adhesive backed sparkle gems. And I ran out of these were the last of the little ones. And so I've got to reorder and they're gold and silver and black, I think. So, I really like the gold. All right, and so then I took the piece that I blended over, and I used some of the Everyday Thoughtful Journey paper because I wanted to bring in not only that Pretty Peacock color, but I wanted to bring in the Wild Wheat color. So I used a couple of pieces of the Designer Series paper and just tore the edges, a piece of the Pretty Peacock, and backed it with the Wild Wheat, and used the Wild Wheat ribbon. I cut the Wild Wheat ribbon in half. I like the smaller ribbon, so narrower ribbon. So I just cut it in half and used it that way. All right. On the inside, I just used a leftover piece of the Thoughtful Journey paper on the inside. All right. So if you're watching, please let me know. Say hi so I'll know that you're there and I can watch for your questions. And thank you if you are watching, and if you're watching the replay, I'm so glad you did that, and I hope you'll comment and just let me know that you watched the replay. And if you're watching this on YouTube, all of my videos, all of my Facebook Lives get put over to YouTube. So I love to know if you're watching the YouTube. And if you have any questions, please comment, leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. All right. So we're going to make this card, only I'm going to use different colors, just so they'll be a little bit different. So I'll set those right there. And I decided to go with the Misty Moonlight. I went ahead and cut out the die, but I haven't poked it out yet. So let me get a piece of paper so I can throw all these little pieces away. So we'll go on and do that. It should have a totally different look with a different color and a different set of Designer Series paper. The paper that, well, on the first card, I'm just going to use, like I did on this one, I'm just going to use cardstock. But on this one, I'm using paper, Designer Series paper from the Wildly Flowery. And if you are not familiar with that paper, it is, I believe it's one of the ones on sale. And I think it is. I think it's in the new catalog. demonstrators get to pre-order from the mini catalog, and I have already poured over that and put my first pre-order in, and so now I don't remember what was in that catalog and what was in the annual catalog, but I think the Wildly Flowering was in the annual catalog. And it is a gorgeous set of paper. It includes some of my favorite colors. And I go for the blues. Let me show you, just to give you an idea of some of the papers in this. It's mostly the blues and the wild wheats, the real nature colors, like I call them, which are my favorites. See these the blending of the blues and the wild wheats and the pink. We've got that one already, and that one. See this? Isn't that pretty? That moody mauve. Love that. Just love it. The way they put those colors together. And look at this paper with the imprinted. It's just the shadow of the flower in the background. So pretty. This one, isn't that pretty? Love that. All right. So, I think I've shown you everything. Have we seen that one? Yeah. All right. Pretty paper, isn't it? The blues and the moody mauves and the wild wheats. So, all right, we've got this ready to go. Now, the hardest part of this, and you know, I had some temporary adhesive and I couldn't find it. So, I'm just going to bring in a scratch pad here. I'm going to do this on this. This is our new basic beige color. And so I'm going to do my stenciling on this. So the only way I could figure out to do it was to just put the tiniest bit of adhesive on my, on the back side. And I'm not going to do it on that. I'm going to do it. So I'm just putting the tiniest, let me get my silicone mat, which helps me get my, I'm putting the tiniest little bit right there. I mean, just a very tiny little bit, and I don't want the extra parts. So like I said, this is the hardest part. I'm going to put a tiny little bit right there. I didn't get it on. There. Tiniest little bit. I'm just putting it in those 4 places. That will be enough to hold it on right here. All right. That should be enough. Get it off of here. Probably should have just used my glass mat for this, but all right. And now we're going to put our basic beige down. And I'm going to put this right in the center and just mash down those 4 places. And I'm going to use Misty Moonlight and my blending brush. So I'm going to ink up my blending brush, and I'm going to pull out on all of these. I'm going to pull out. And that way you don't wrinkle anything up. And I'm going to put a lot of color down, and here where the adhesive, we'll get that off with our eraser later. So I'm just pulling out, and I'm holding on to my stencil. I'm going right down the middle, but I'm pulling down. There's some of that, but the adhesive will come right off. I'm pulling out or pushing out. Pulling out. You know, and it's all in how dark you want it as to how long you do this. And of course, what you're doing is you're adding color to your background piece as well. So you want to pull it on out and get that color out there. You know, and if you wanted it like darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, then if I did that, I would add more ink down here. You see, I'm making this quite a bit darker down here. Just experimenting. We're playing around. I did play around some with it, but goodness, there's so many different ways. And you know, I was thinking about the dies that could be used for this. There are a lot of dies, but the dies in this set just make it perfect. Just perfect. All right, I think I've about got everything I wanted to do. All right, I think I'm ready. That didn't take long. And it's fun. Now, very carefully, I'm going to pull my stencil up. Looky there. Isn't that pretty? Now, we're going to get that off. We can get that off. Any leftover adhesive, and if it doesn't just roll off, then you just take your little eraser, your gum eraser, and it'll take it right off. I mean, there will be nothing left. There we go. I love that. Isn't that pretty? Now, when I just realized this morning, that the Everyday Details were still available. And so because I thought they weren't, I looked through my stuff. I don't have very many border dies. But this is from Gone Fishing. And I thought, let's try that and see what that looks like. So I'm going to put it right here. We're going to have to run it through real quick. Put a tape on it and run it through. Just to make something different along the edge. You just want to give it just something different. And I'm going to turn it over and do it on the other side. Just like I did on this side. But first I need to make sure that it fits on my card base. Now I'm going to have to come in a little bit with this one. Yeah. Okay. I didn't measure my paper before I started. I thought, well, I'll just do that after we get going here. Okay. That one done. And I think I need to come in a little more on the other side. So I'm going to do this one more time. Now, we're ready. Now we're ready. So I did it again on the other side. And now our blue, I've got to cut from the top and the bottom. But see, I wanted the Misty Moonlight cardstock to show just a little bit. Okay, bring in the trimmer. And this is 4 by 5 1/4. So I want this to be 5. So I'm going to trim a little bit off of this end. Actually, I think I can probably trim it all off of this end. There we go. Now, let's see how it looks. Yes, there we go. We have a little bit of a border all the way around. So now I'm going to pick up my trimmer. Now I'm going to put this down. And you know, I could pop this up. I could do that. Maybe I'll do that with dimensionals. As long as we're just playing around. Only I'm going to get my I have my adhesive sheets. So I'm going to get that. Get one of those. There we go. These are the foam adhesive sheets. And I'll cut it down to size. There we go. Save that piece to use another time. All right, that'll work perfect. There are times when these foam adhesive sheets are just the perfect thing to use on the back of a big piece. I really can't tell one side, one end from the other. Although, when my trimmer blade, and I go through trimmer blades, when they begin to fray just a little bit, then I just get out my little emery board thing and smooth them out. There we go. All right, and then we're going to use the basic beige card base. I'm going to grab my bone folder, give that a crease, and get this glued down. Once in the middle, center this. There we go. Oh, I love it. I just love it. All right, so now I brought some gems along. These have the Misty Moonlight. These have that beige color. Let me look at the Misty Moonlight. See what they look like. Yeah, I think that's what we need to use, don't we? And I did some ribbon, and this is a yeah, this is a burlap and white, beige and white. Well, let's see. I can't decide if I like that or not. I like the gold and white. I love the gold and white. But I was trying to do something a little bit different, you know. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, let me put these up here. A little piece of stubborn adhesive right there. There we go. All right. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Any comments? Let's see. Hi, Kay. So what do you think? This ribbon? Or something different? I don't know what I have. Really. I don't think I have any Misty Moonlight ribbon. So it goes to the white and gold. And I wanted to do it different. You like it? Well, okay. All right, let's go with it. It's just a ribbon, right? Okay. Put it on. But you know, before I put it on, I'm going to put my sentiment, and I'm using, I've been asked to do some sympathy cards. So that's what I'm trying to do, sympathy and get well. This is for our life group. I've been asked to do some sympathy cards and some get well cards. So I'm going to put with sympathy right down here. Oh. Good. Woo. I got everything but the very tip of the, and I'm going to try with my black Omicron to just fill that in. There you go. Because you can't tell up against the blue that it's black. All right. There we go. It's always a way to fix mistakes. That's what I love about card making. Always a way to fix mistakes. Let me get these back in. Set those aside and close my ink before I put my arm in it and put my ribbon on. And I'll cut the tail off just a little bit. Okay. I need to trim this a little more. All right, there we go. I think that's a very masculine card, don't you? It's a subtle. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm looking at my video. It's not moving. All right. For some reason, there we go. Now we're caught up. All right. So we've done that first one. Looks very different, doesn't it? See how different you can make them look? Very different. And of course you could put birthday. You could put any sentiment that you wanted. Now we're going to use this leftover piece right here. Isn't it awesome that out of this one thing, you can make two cards? So we're going to use a white card base. got a little bit of glue on it, so where's my bone folder? There it is. Okay, we got our white card base. And then I'm going to use, I picked out 2 from that Wildly Flowering. And I thought those would look good. Aren't they pretty? Love them. Okay. And it's actually going to have this. I thought it would be good to pick up the wild wheat that's in this. All right. I think I want it to go this way. It's a little bit lighter. The inking is a little lighter than the blue in here, but I don't think this has one with a lighter blue. Let's see. Maybe that one? Maybe that would look better. Less blue. Let me see if I can find another one. I think that's the one. Now that I put the dye on top of it, I think the one with less blue in it is going to look better. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I think that looks better. And now, this one does not have as much of the wild wheat in it. It's got more of that beige. Like crumb cake, maybe. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, yeah, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? All right, we've got that figured out. And now we need to cut these pieces down to size. So our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, or 5.5 by 4.25. So these pieces, these pieces need to be 5.25 in length. And the direction doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and cut about a 2-inch piece. 2 inches of that one. Then we can decide which 2 inches to use. And 2 inches of the blue is already cut, and then I need a 4 by 5.25 of this. For the base. Or for the, yeah, for underneath. Okay. So we're going to put this one down first. Put it down on the front. And this one, so it needs to be 5.25. And this one needs to be 5.25. And I want as much of the blue as possible. So I'll go right, oh, I want that blue in there. So I'm going to cut it a little past that. and then come back and do my 5 1/4 this direction. There we go. So we get 2 of the blues in there. And we'll do it like this. This goes this way. It is a little directional. And this one, I think, is a little directional. And our blue is going to go right across here. All right, so I want to tear these. And give it that rugged look. And I'm tearing it so that the white edge shows. Like that one. And this one. All right. Doesn't that make a difference? I love what a difference it makes. All right, I'm going to get this one glued down. I'm just going to leave about a, what is that, about 1/4 of an inch. I love both sides of these papers, and sometimes I turn it over and I go, oh, I like that side too. But this is what we need. I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch there. And that edge. And then this one will go right up against the edge. It's right in the corner of that paper. Oops, my finger stuck to it. There we go. There we go. All right. And then we've got this to put down. And I'm going to put it down toward the top right corner. I see where I don't have a piece poked out there. So that I can put my greeting down here. All right, so I'm just going to dot some glue on a few of the outside pieces. And you really don't have to worry about the inside. And you've got the outside covered. I can put a little right there, but all right. Put it right there. And let me grab my big block. It seems to be the best way to get all pieces down. I'll hold it for just a minute. Go down here. All right, there we have it. Now we've got gems. I like these. I'll tell you what though, let's get the sentiment piece on first. And that comes from, we'll use from the Stylish Shapes. And we're going to put Hope You're Feeling Better Soon. So I want to make sure that, looks like I'm going to have to use the bigger one. But I don't need the whole thing. So I've demoed this before. I'll demo it again. It's what I do when I only need part of my sentiment piece. So I can go on and stamp my sentiment, and we want to stamp it in Misty Moonlight. Hope you're feeling better soon. And we'll do it right in the middle. There we go. Close this up. And now, I only need like that much of it. Maybe that much. So I'm going to start it here. Get it just right. I do have a little piece of tape there. Okay. And send it through. Now, I'm going to bring this back this way, and I'm going to kind of notch it in. You just kind of feel with your die. See, it won't move. So that tells me it's in the holes. Send it through again. There we go. We have just the size we need. Perfect size. All right. We're going to put that right here with dimensionals. My dimensionals are underneath my mini cut and emboss. All right, there and there. Okay, we got that. Now, I've changed colors. Let me look here for a different Okay. I can either, let's see. So I can either use cream or white. Let me tie a bow with each of them. We'll figure this out. We're creating on the run here, aren't we? I mean, we are doing it. All right, there's one of the bows. What do you think, Kay? Cream or white? Let me get this one done. And there's the white. What do you think? Which one do you like best? Cream or white? If I did that one, it would go right there. Or if I did that one, it would go right there. All right. I like the cream too. Okay. All right, we're going to go with the cream. Reader's choice. And we're going to get the glue dots, put it on right there, right on the edge of the sentiment. Trim our edges. It's almost the same. And we could put 1, 2, I don't know that it needs it. I don't know that it needs it. I don't think it needs it. I think we're good. I like it just like that. All right, hope you're feeling better soon. There's that one. There's, close this up, move it over. So here's this one that we just did. Here's these two that I did before. And these two that I did before. All right, these two using this stencil, these using this stencil, and then the two we just did. All right, so that was fun. I like doing that kind of thing. You know, when I need a card in a hurry, of course I don't do that. But when I'm just in here playing around and trying to use my products in different ways, I love doing that. I think it's a lot of fun, and I love using my blender brushes and my ink. So I hope that that has been fun for you as well. And I used the nature, what was it? I just did it. Spotlight on Nature die on this one, and the deckled circle on this one, and then I told you I got that die from the Gone Fishing set, and this is from the Everyday Details. So, and then the images, your images are from Thoughtful Wishes. So just a variety of sets and different ways to use them. All right, that's it. That's looking at taking a die and creating a stencil from it, and then coming up with ways to use it on cards. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, Kay. Thank you for being here. And again, if you're watching the replay or on YouTube, thank you so much for doing that. And as always, these will be on my blog, StampinDeDeSpot.blogspot.com, and you'll see the photos of them and telling you what I used on each one. So, all right, thank you for being here. I'll see you next Thursday morning for Stampin' Thursday. Bye-bye.